Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be doing a part 2 of Better Call Saul facts. So I hope you enjoy, and with that, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Vince Gilligan admitted that the characters of Chuck McGill and Howard Hamlin developed differently than initially planned. Chuck was going to be the wise older brother who would provide Jimmy with advice, and Howard was going to be the nemesis and foil in Jimmy's life. However, after a few episodes, the actors, producers, and writers all agreed that the trajectory of the characters would work better if Chuck was the true nemesis in Jimmy's life and Howard was the flawed, sympathetic friend who wanted to help Jimmy. Chuck was never going to be the bad guy, and Howard was always going to be the one to cause problems in Jimmy's life. What's wonderful is working with such a talented group of writers and actors who aren't afraid to change things and are flexible with trying out different scenarios. I think the way Chuck and Howard have developed fits much more with the theme of the show and offers so many more rewarding outcomes than our original version, said Vince Gilligan. In July 2021, Bob Odenkirk suffered a near-fatal heart attack on the set of the 6th and final season shoot. He attributes his survival of the trauma to, amongst others, his co-stars Rhea Seehorn and Patrick Fabian, who were both with him at the time and reacted so quickly the production's medics responded immediately. After 3 attempts with a defibrillator, they managed to restore his regular heartbeat. He claims to have had no memory at all of the experience, though the attack was severe enough to require the insertion of stents into his heart. Vince Gilligan said his enjoyment of creating the show has opened his mind to other spin-offs or shows set before or after Breaking Bad. The music that plays during the end credits is a rearranged version of the Breaking Bad theme. The series takes place in 2002, 6 years before the beginning of Breaking Bad, and 7 years before Saul's first appearance. Vince Gilligan said that the show would not go past 6 seasons, as the timeline would eventually run into the Breaking Bad timeline. We have certain characters that need to be introduced and specific events that need to happen, but the writers have freedom to develop how we get there in allotted time available, said Gilligan in an interview. Vince Gilligan revealed in an interview that his original plan was to shape the show in season 1 and eventually step out to let Peter Gould, who originally created the character of Saul Goodman, run the series full-time. He stated that making the season was so creatively fulfilling, though, that he changed his mind and decided to continue running it on an everyday basis for the initial seasons. Better Call Saul scored the second highest debut ratings in cable history, with an overall 6.9 million viewers for its pilot episode on AMC. Fellow AMC series Fear the Walking Dead surpassed that record with 10.1 million viewers in its first episode. Jeremy Shamos and Julie Ann Emery, who play the Kettlemans, were given freedom to improvise because the producers liked their dynamic so much. AMC renewed the series for a second season in June 2014, more than 7 months before the pilot episode aired. While Breaking Bad was shot on 35mm film, Better Call Saul is shot on 4K digital. Saul Goodman is a pseudonym that was picked because it sounded Jewish and sounds like It's All Good Man. All the episode titles in Season 1 end in the letter O, except Better Call Saul, Alpine Shepherd Boy. It was originally titled Jello, but they were not allowed to use that trademarked name. Aaron Paul announced having had serious talks with Vince Gilligan for a possible guest appearance, but later told the Huffington Post it was not going to happen. However, before the first episode of Season 6 was released, it was announced through the Better Call Saul Twitter that both Jesse and Walter would make an appearance. In Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, when Walt and Jesse take Saul out into the desert to threaten him, Saul mentions Don Lalo and Ignacio. Both Lalo Salamanca and Ignacio Nacho Varga are recurring characters on Better Call Saul. In the 4th episode of 2nd season, Better Call Saul, Gloves Off, the man to whom Mike approaches for guns is the same man who sells guns to Walter White in the 2nd episode of the 4th season, 38 Snub, where Walter purchases the .38 snub-nose revolver for defense when he is worried about Gus Fring. He also appears in the flash forward in the 1st episode of the 5th season, Breaking Bad, Live Free or Die. For many extreme shots, like on the ground shooting straight up or from inside a coffee cup, a very compact Panasonic Lumix DMC GH4 camera is used. It was announced on June 27th, 2022, that comedy legend Carol Burnett will join the cast as a character named Marion for the 2nd half of the final season. Saul's catchphrase, "It's showtime, folks," is a reference to All That Jazz, 1979. Rex Lynn's character owns a bank, Mesa Verde, and in real life, he was a vice president of a bank before pursuing acting. Bob Odenkirk is the only cast member to appear in every episode. When Bob Odenkirk was growing up, he lived in the Chicago suburb of Berwyn, Illinois, which neighbors the suburb of Cicero, Illinois. Jimmy mentioned Cicero in season 1 while speaking to the Skeeter twins. Cicero is a real suburb of Chicago. Later, in season 2, Jimmy tells his best friend Marco he may stop and get a hot dog from Henry's. Henry's Hot Dogs also exists and is located in Cicero, Illinois. Season 2 was originally scheduled to be 13 episodes long, but was shortened to 10 at the request of the producers. According to Rhea Seehorn, her character, Kim Wexler, is from a small town near the Kansas-Nebraska border called Red Cloud, where she was raised. Though the Cottonwood Mall featured in the Gene Takovich timeline is set in Omaha, Nebraska, it is really in Albuquerque, New Mexico. However, the name Cottonwood Mall is a good fit, as the cottonwood is the official state tree of Nebraska. Each episode in season 1 has a different opening sequence. Saul's first appearance on Breaking Bad was in the 8th episode of the 2nd season. Better Call Saul's first episode, having premiered on February 8th, is an homage to this. Both Bob Odenkirk and Julie Ann Emery previously starred in Fargo. In smaller places, like Saul's office, that is about 64 square feet, Saul's car, and other small spaces, the Red Dragon's 4K digital camera is used. The yellow car Saul is driving is a sedan version of Suzuki Cultus Crescent 1995 to 1998 model. The car was known as Suzuki Esteem in North America and Suzuki Baleno in Europe, Asia, and Australia. In season 5, episode 7, JMM, according to each respective character's driver's license, Saul Goodman is 2 inches taller and 1 year, 21 days older than Bob Odenkirk. Kim Wexler is 1.5 inches taller and 5 years, 3 months, 1 day older than Rhea Seehorn. Abigail Zoe Lewis replaces Kaija Bales from Breaking Bad in the role of Kaylee, Mike's granddaughter, due to the character being younger in the series. Although there appears to be debate among fans as to how old Kaylee is supposed to be. As her official wiki states, she was born in 1999 and should be 3 by 2002, yet she appears to be closer to 7. Tuco's revolver is a Taurus raging judge. As of August 2022, Cinnabon has no locations in Omaha, Nebraska. The nearest store from Omaha is inside a convenience store a few miles south in Bellevue near Offutt Air Force Base. There are 15 total locations in Nebraska, including 1 in Lincoln and 3 in Grand Island. Both Raymond Cruz, Tuco, and Jonathan Banks, Mike, from this show and Breaking Bad, have had roles in a Gremlins movie. Raymond Cruz played the messenger in Gremlins 2, The New Batch, while Jonathan Banks played Deputy Brent in Gremlins. Michael McKean has appeared in 2 Vince Gilligan spin-offs, The X-Files, The Lone Gunman, and Breaking Bad's Better Call Saul. During season 3, Saul wears a Panavision hat, but the commercials are all shot on videotape using a Sony Betacam SP. Stephen Bauer, Don Eladio, also played drug kingpins in Traffic and Scarface. Patrick Fabian, Howard Hamlin, and Ed Begley Jr., Clifford, Maine, also worked together on 3 episodes of Veronica Mars as Hank Landry and Cyrus Odell, respectively. Michael McKean appeared with Bob Odenkirk on Mr. Show with Bob and David, Life is Precious, and God and the Bible. Rhea Seehorn previously played an attorney on Franklin and Bash. Patrick Fabian also played an attorney on Boston Legal. Jonathan Banks' character works as a parking lot attendant. In Mike Tyson's Mysteries, Is Magic Real? Banks' character also works as a parking lot attendant. Patrick Fabian and Rex Lynn have also appeared together in CSI Miami. So this next fact I already mentioned in my previous video, but this one has a little more detail around it. Peter Gold, co-creator of the series, posted on his Twitter account relating to characters' costume colors, known as the fire and ice theory. Bad characters wear red to indicate fire, and good characters wear blue to indicate ice. The shade indicates the severity. Example: when Tuco takes Jimmy and the 2 brothers into the desert to punish them for trying to hustle Tuco's grandmother, Tuco is seen in a red shirt. Nacho talks him around and saves them from being killed. He is seen during this scene in a blue shirt. When Nacho comes to see Jimmy and his office to discuss ripping off the Kettlemans, he is in a red shirt for this scene. Interestingly, Jimmy's car has 1 red door. Vince Gilligan was debating whether to do a show about events surrounding Walter White's death or even a 30-minute comedy about the character Saul Goodman, but ultimately decided upon Better Call Saul. In the first episode, we find out that Saul Goodman's real name is Jimmy James McGill, the name the character goes by for the majority of the series. Jimmy McGill was mentioned in Breaking Bad. Saul Goodman is in fact a persona created by Jimmy McGill. Despite being credited as a main cast member, Michael Mondo, Nacho, only appeared in 4 out of 10 episodes in season 1. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul shot their scenes for the final season in a row, not exactly knowing how they were going to fit and in what episodes. The law firm of Davis and Maine refers to a restaurant of the same name in Richmond, Virginia, that Vince Gilligan used to frequent. The restaurant was located at 2501 West Main Street and was, of course, on the corner of Davis Street, hence Davis and Maine. It has since closed and is now the site of a Benny Ventano's Pizzeria. Jimmy McGill uses a key fob for his car, which looks suspiciously similar to the one used by Walter White to trigger the machine gun in Breaking Bad, Felina. So that is all for the facts for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful night, and I'll see you next time.